the home we're building. I started 30 years ago as an engineer in the building. I was an engineer for a year before I went over to technology. It's been the guinea pig for me and my technology and my team, and we've always come out on top. And this building shines the way it is. You would never walk into this building and think this building is 37 years old. And to me, how can you be more proud of something than that? Some of the challenges we see in operating historic or trophy class buildings in DC is the limitations on what you can do outside the shell. What you can do inside the shell is really open. And we've proven that time and time again. The benefits of a HVAC system are a small footprint, not getting rid of rentable square footage for equipment. So we looked at the systems and we said, hey, what can we do to get rid of heat pumps in the perimeter, which have been there since 1989, 1990. Each heat pump was 18 inches by 4 foot and took up that much of the space. By going to the new SCUs and a hybrid VRF system, we picked up floor space. We kept the same creature comforts, meaning we still have control down to an office level individually via our clients as they did with heat pumps, but they're not looking at them. When we designed our space in 2019, we looked at VAV, we looked at VRF, and we looked at constant volume. We looked at just replacing the heat pumps with new consoles. We looked at heat pumps in the ceiling. None of them were exactly where we wanted to be. And with a VAV, the cost was prohibitive. With a heat pump, you still had the floor space used. With a heat pump in the ceiling, you had noise factor. So the only one left standing was constant volume and VRV. And we chose VRV. DC is limited in height space. So there's bigger ducts, lower ceiling heights. And you're pushing, how efficient is it to push air 450 feet? How many whistles are you gonna get? How many things you're gonna hear? I don't know. Second would be a heat pump. So I can bring condenser water or through the wall unit and put it in. That unit makes noise. It may not be a lot of noise, but it is a noise. It takes up floor space. It takes up ceiling space. If you hang them in the ceiling, which I've still yet to find anybody to actually successfully do that. I looked at it and thought really hard about doing that, but it's noise, a compressor above your head in a ceiling making noise. No, doesn't make any sense. So with hybrid and with regular VRF, you have a condenser that sits somewhere remote. And that's where all your noise is. That's where the heat is exchanged, either air to air or air to water. Then you have refrigerant lines that run to a branch selector that sits in the ceiling. With the hybrid, you have the water pipes that go out to there to the branch selectors. There's no ceiling height restrictions. You can have nice wide open corridors because you're only running refrigerant lines or water lines. And it makes our space look grander. We are height restricted in DC. We always will be. And as long as there are new technologies like VRF and hybrid VRF, hybrid's the only thing we'll use, is we get the best ceiling heights, and that makes for better people's creature comfort, and they feel better in their space. I originally, in 2003, worked with Boland Trane. They introduced me to a technology called tritium, and I fell in love with it. And when you look at it, it is so advanced and so open that it doesn't matter what you have, who you're working with, anyone can use it and you can do anything with it. There are no limitations. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I picked the Tritium Niagara platform because literally I have pieces of equipment in this building that are still 30 years old. I have pieces that are 4 months old. They work hand in hand. As one of the other questions said, why do we do? Part of the equation is because I didn't want to upgrade all my stuff in the back end that I didn't have to upgrade. I have identified and realized electrical savings of over $300,000 the last 2 consecutive years in this building. We started at about 40% occupied. We're now almost 90% occupied. We continue to have a reduction in electrical consumption. We beat our goals every single solitary year. We manage, we maintain, we are proactive in maintenance. So the answer is we've seen a significant savings in energy consumption in the building. Well, we can't control plug and switch load. That is what it is by the clients in the building. I can control the mechanical load, and the mechanical load is the biggest part of the load that there really is. I chose Boland as my service provider I've known the Boland family and I've known the Boland company for 30 years. I went to my first class at their old Park Lawn headquarters. They treated me like I was someone special. I was very inquisitive. I wanted to learn things. They answered every question I ever had. And that left a lasting impression in me. So I think we share a lot of the same principles, a lot of the same heart and soul. Do the best you can with what you have. Make sure your team is doing the best they can, and make sure that if you need a partner, bring the best one in. And that would be, in my opinion, Boland Trane.